Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. Shout out to King of Craxels for ordering another AI Dungeon 2 video. He requested that this video be 2 hours long, and he paid $14 for the video on Cash App. Speaking of Cash App, if you guys would like to support the channel, feel free to do so by hitting up the Cash App in the description box below. All donations are appreciated. Now let's hop right into today's adventure. I'm going to hit start on the 2-hour timer, and I'm going to jump right in and read from the beginning. You and your friends have developed superpowers. You aren't entirely sure why. You know that you personally have been researching Christian mythology and trying to learn how to tap into the power of the divine nature that all humans have. You and your friend Craw have been recruited into the military to help save the world from Memetic Monsters. Memetic monsters are the visible and demonic manifestations of the thought fields of memes. Every thought generates an invisible physical field, known as a thought field. The more people thinking about something, the stronger that thought's thought field becomes. Memes constantly spread and continue to grow over time, which allows for their thought field to grow rapidly and become world-spanning entities. Thought fields can manipulate the thoughts and feelings of those standing inside of them. Lucifer, seeing the influence of the thought fields of memes have on the world, sent out demons to possess the thought fields of memes, transforming them into memetic monsters. Lucifer's goal is for his memetic monsters to twist the minds of humanity, to deny Christ, and bring about the apocalypse. You and Craw are standing on the battlefield in front of Lucifer, who is riding on top of the world's largest memetic monster, known as Meme Prime. You two should join me. You'll be generals in the coming war between heaven and hell, rather than being insects crushed under my boot, sneers Lucifer. I hate all this religion stuff. Can we just get to the punching? Complains Craw. Punching is about all we really know how to do so far. We still haven't learned how to truly tap into the full potential of our powers, you reply. And it looks like you never will, says Lucifer as he commands Meme Prime to charge at you and Craw. You and Craw enter a battle stance and begin to charge up. This battle will determine the fate of the entire planet. And then the AI says, the future of humanity hangs in the balance as you prepare to unleash your powers. Okay, so we have to fight the largest memetic monster in the world. I'm going to declare, I have faith in my divine nature, and with that faith, I summon a divine shield imbued with my unique divine attributes. Okay, so let's see if that works. Do 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 do. You raise your fist into the air and begin to summon the energy of your faith. The demonic hordes of Lucifer attempt to attack you from every angle, but their attacks are repelled by your divine energy shield. You and Craw proceed to unleash a flurry of punches onto the evil demons. Okay, cool. So the shield thing actually worked. And apparently it completely no-diffs like all of the demons. I'm going to say to Lucifer, give up, Lucifer. My divine shield is powered by my faith in my own divine nature. I don't have to draw power from you or any other divine being. Yeah, which is actually really interesting. Because I am the source of my power, and my power protects me, you have no way of stripping me of my power. Let's see, I'm gonna phone call. I'm gonna not answer the phone. Let's see. You have no way of stripping me of my power. Do 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 do. Let's see. Lies, you weakling. You think you have any power of your own? You rely on the power of others. The only power you have comes from your friends and family. Okay, let's see. Also, I hear like a weird staticky sound in my headphones. Let me make sure they're fully plugged in. Yeah, I think the cable got loose when the phone was vibrating. Okay, jumping back into the adventure. I'm going to say to Lucifer, you are the one spouting lies. You are trying to shake my faith in my own divine nature as a way to try and weaken my divine shield. Your lies won't work on me. This battle is already won by Craw and I see through your deception. Yeah. That actually is a good idea. Like, to say, like, no, you're lying. Like, you don't actually have your own power. Because if the shield is based on my faith and my own power, then if you can shake my faith, then you can shake, like, the strength of my shield. You seem to be very confident in your abilities and your faith. So tell me, why do you believe in the divine nature? To which then the game railroaded me and had me say, why do I believe in the divine nature? Well, I guess it's because it's based on love. Which is interesting. That's not what I'm going to say. So he's trying to do like a conceptual battle thing, where we're going to like debate it. So why do I believe in the divine nature? I'm going to reply to Lucifer and say, my divine nature is a part of me. To deny my divine nature would be to deny myself. I have full faith, say like full and undying faith in my divine nature. God became man so that man could become God. Now face my divinity head on and perish. You finish your speech with a mighty roar in an attempt to scare the crap out of Lucifer and his demonic horde. What a very interesting phrasing it put for that. Let's see. I'm going to continue to pound through the hordes of demons with an unrelenting flurry of punches while protected by my divine shield. Yeah, it seems like we've got him on the ropes. You feel absolutely nothing as you punch through demon after demon. Lucifer angrily commands his horde to retreat, as he can see that you will be able to destroy them all. Okay, so I'm going to yell, "You're not getting away!" You throw a shield around yourself and rush through the portal. Portal? Wait, what? Oh, wait. Do they retreat through a portal? Okay, that might make sense. You find yourself in an abandoned warehouse. This looks like a good spot to have a final battle, Crawl remarks. You summon up your shield and rush forward to attack Lucifer. Okay. So I'm going to edit it to where it says where you rush through the portal. So you throw a shield around yourself and rush through the portal that Lucifer and his demon hordes are using to retreat. There we go. I'm going to yell, Divine Dash, Shield Bash. Oh, it should have been Divine Dash, Shield Smash. I would have had the double alliteration and the rhyme scheme. Sometimes I think of cooler names, like in the process of writing it out. You rush forward, passing through the shield and bashing Lucifer in the face with your shield. What? You rush forward, passing through the shield. Passing. So I have a shield. I go through the shield and then bash him in the face with the shield. Like, that didn't make sense. I'm going to edit that and just have it say, you rush forward and bash Lucifer in the face with your shield, because that makes more sense. Lucifer stumbles back as you proceed to jab him repeatedly in the face, breaking his nose. You wretched beast, I'll tear you apart. I don't know if I say that or if Lucifer says that. Passing through the shield and bashing him in the face with your shield. Okay, let's see. You rush forward and bash Lucifer in the face with your shield. I imagine Lucifer says it, actually. I mean, either one of us could have said it. You wretched beast, I'll tear you apart. If it's like Lucifer being like, how dare you, like, strike me kind of thing. I'm going to yell, this is over. And then I'm going to attempt to decapitate Lucifer using my divine shield. Yeah, so it seems like I'm pretty much gonna end him. I'm gonna end him straight up. You swing your shield with all your might, cutting Lucifer's head off. You throw your shield aside as Lucifer's body falls to the ground. It's finished. Let's go home. You and Craw turn around and return to Earth through the portal. Were we not on Earth before? Also, you're supposed to fight for like 2 hours, right? It hadn't even been like 15 minutes. It just wasn't that, he wasn't that strong. Okay? I'm going to return to Earth. Well, I guess I'm going to return to base to report to the general that Lucifer has been defeated. Arriving from the portal, you stand alongside Craw and look around. So this is where we'll be living for the next few years then? I guess so. You both walk inside to see a huge base filled with men, women, and some children. Okay? So I'm going to look around for the general. You walk through the hallways alongside Craw, while dozens of people rush around you carrying out tasks. You arrive in a large room filled with dozens of desks, all of which are empty. This looks like where we'll be living. Why would we be living in a meeting room? Also, you don't have to keep saying that. You said that when you got to the base. Don't just keep being like, hey, we're living here. You walk into another room, we're living here. Walk into the bathroom, we're living here. Walk into the broom closet, we live in here. Okay. I'm going to say, General, Craw and I are here to report that Lucifer has been defeated. Are you here? Where are you? Yeah, so I need to report that we won, essentially. Because the Memetic Monsters were like Lucifer's like demonic minions or whatever. He just had demons possess like thought fields or whatever. You continue shouting out while Crawl wanders off and looks at some of the paperwork on the desk. You stop and listen as you hear a tapping coming from somewhere close by. Okay? I'm gonna look for the source of the tapping. Or maybe I should say to Crawl, hey Crawl, do you hear that tapping sound? Where is that sound coming from? I think it's coming from over here, Craw replies as he walks over to the bookshelf. It's a secret door, Craw says as he opens up a small door inside the bookshelf, revealing a dark staircase behind it. I'll say to Craw, I'll put up a divine shield to protect us. Let's travel down the staircase and see if the general is down there. We need to report to him at once. Good idea, Craw says as he activates his red eye, and the two of you head down the staircase. His red eye? Is Craw here with the Sharingan? You walk down the staircase for 2 minutes until you reach the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to look around the mysterious underground secret room. I'm looking for the general to report to him that you and Craw defeated Lucifer. Excuse me. There are golden coins strewn across the floor, and many rare and valuable items are on display, such as a diamond as big as your fist. You pick up a gold ring and slip it into your pocket. You doubt if anyone will notice. You look around the room, but cannot find the general. So I don't think it would be a good idea to steal something. So I'm gonna get rid of the part where you like steal something. Doesn't sound like a good idea. I'm going to say to Craw, this must be a hidden treasure trove, kept under the base for safekeeping. You'd think a place like this would have more security. We should go back upstairs and go find the general. Yeah, I agree, Craw says as you both head back up the staircase. You both head down the hallway and find a large workshop filled with all kinds of mechanical equipment and tools. Let's see. I'm going to look for the general inside of the workshop. You walk over to a table and pick up a strange glowing crystal that is pulsating with energy. Fascinating. I'm going to say to Craw, I found something interesting. This crystal is glowing and pulsating with power. Okay, that time I'm gonna call for my mom. I'll call back Mom afterwards. I gotta do this thing for like 2 hours. Let's see. You say to Craw, I found something interesting. This crystal is glowing and pulsating with power. I wonder if this was... Oh, I know what the weird sound is on my headphones. I only ever hear it right after I get a call. I think it's like catching the signal of the call on delay. I had old headphones that used to do a similar thing. I haven't experienced this in a while. Anyways, this is the sound thing is just throwing me. I don't even know if you guys can hear it on your end, because I think it is like a part of the headphones. Let's see. I wonder if this was created here at the base, or if this crystal is something like is magic or something. Yeah, like I don't know. What do you think, Craw? So I'm essentially just asking Craw, what does he think about like the crystal? Because it seems pretty interesting. It's inside of a workshop, so it could have been made by the military, like maybe it's some kind of like military weapon or something. But I mean, clearly like Lucifer and demons and stuff like that exist, so maybe it's like a magic thing. Also, it seems like the game has given me a name. I don't know, Sybil. Let's ask the general about it when we find him. Craw replies as you both continue to look around the room. You walk over to a desk and pick up a bunch of papers that are lying on it. Let's see. I'm going to look over the papers and try to see if they contain clues on the whereabouts of the general. You read over the papers and see a bunch of notes about the progress of some kind of energy project. There are also a few pages that contain the start of a fantasy novel about a brave hero adventuring in a magical land. Interesting. I'm going to say, I guess I'm going to say to Craw specifically, these papers are talking about an energy project that the military is working on. This energy project might have something to do with that crystal that's pulsating with energy over there. Do you think it might be a power source developed by the military? Maybe. Let's ask the general about it when we find him. Craw replies. You and Craw walk over to a door at the far end of the room and push it open. You see the general standing next to an operating table. I'm going to say to the general, I'm glad that Craw and I were able to finally find you. We are here to report that we've defeated Lucifer. Lucifer was responsible for transforming the thoughts, well, I guess the thought fields of memes into memetic monsters. Now that Lucifer has been killed, it looks like the war is over. We won. Instead of say to the general, excuse me, I'm going to announce that to the general. The general turns to you and says with a frown on his face, "I'm sorry to hear that." Wait, what? You, in a confused tone of voice, ask, "Why are you sad to hear that we won the war against Lucifer?" Yeah, that seems really odd for him to say. Was the general hoping that we would lose the war? Question mark. Whoa. The general reveals that he is Lucifer and says, "I'm Lucifer, and the war was always meant to be a stalemate. As soon as you killed my underlings, I would appear before you as one of your kind and kill you." What? I'm going to say to Lucifer, "That's impossible. We cut off your head. Unless that was just an illusion. If you are the real Lucifer, then you will fall just the same as your illusion." And then I'm going to quickly attempt to summon a divine shield to help protect myself and Craw. Okay. So that was the twist that I didn't expect for the general, once we finally found him, to have been Lucifer all along. You raise your fist into the air and begin to summon the energy of your faith. Lucifer begins to float in the air as you see him transforming into a large dragon. The power of his mind is so strong that you can feel yourself being pulled in by it. Oh goodness. I'm going to say to Craw, Lucifer's dragon form is trying to literally pull me into his mind. He must possess psionic abilities when in his dragon state. Can your red eye power defend against Lucifer's draconic attacks? Well, I guess draconic psionic attacks. Being pulled into someone's mind sucks. Let's see. Your red eye can defend against psionic attacks, but the shield shrinks slightly every time you block a psionic attack. Well, hold up. I don't have the red eye power. Craw has the red eye power. I'm asking Craw. Let's see. So now it says, your red eye power allows you to repel the effects of psionics. I don't have the red eye power. Then it says, "Yeah, I can help you out with that," Craw says as he puts his hand on your shoulder to provide your shield of warrior saints with more power and protection. What? It's like we're like switching powers. Stop giving me the power. Craw has the red eye power. No, I don't have the red eye. It keeps going like, you have the red eye power? Oh, I forgot to put a question mark. Maybe that's it? Oh, okay, well, it doesn't matter, because now it's working. "I don't know, but we have to try something," Craw exclaims. The pair of you concentrate and begin to build up energy for a red-eye blast. The divine energy that begins to glow in your hands slowly begins to overpower the dragon's psychic attack. Interesting. Okay. So that part's fine. Let me add a question mark to that part that I put earlier. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to edit this part where it says the pair of you concentrate and begin to build up the energy, and have that too. The pair of you concentrate and begin to build up and share energy. Craw uses the energy to charge up for a red-eye blast, and then it's going to be like the divine energy that begins to glow in your hand slowly begins to overpower the dragon's psychic attack. Okay? I'm going to say to Craw, it is working. Our powers combined are allowing us to overcome Lucifer. Quickly, while my shield holds off Lucifer's psychic attack, finish him off with your red-eye blast. You feel the energy draining from your body as you focus all of it on maintaining your shield against Lucifer's attacks. It takes all of your concentration to continue the fight. Craw unleashes a blast of red-eye energy directly at Lucifer, but he is able to block this attack as well. Oh crap. Let's see. But Lucifer is able to block this attack. I don't know why it says as well, because it's not like Lucifer. Well, I guess you could say, but Lucifer is able to block this attack as well as continue. As well as continue his psychic onslaught. There we go. That would be like the as well part, because he's not blocking anything else. It's not like we're hitting him with multiple things. Let's see. I'm going to say to Craw, we need to combine our powers. Not just by sharing power, but by literally fusing our two powers into one. I will funnel my actually, I have an idea. I will use my divine shield as a lens to magnify your red-eye energy, transforming your beam into a divine red-eye energy blast. That's an interesting idea. Don't you think we should practice this first? Craw asked. We don't have time or the energy. Lucifer is killing us both with his psychic attacks. All right then, Craw says as he looks directly into your eyes. I'm going to say to Lucifer, this is the end of you. Prepare to die. Divine laser. Ultimate attack. Ultimate attack. I don't know. It seems like it needs to, like, a big name. Ultimate fusion attack. Divine laser. If you want to get really anime, it would be like Ultimate Fusion Attack, Divine Laser of Friendship. This is where it's like you start with a cool name, but you gotta add in the friendship so it gets a little lamer. You and Craw begin to concentrate and focus all of your remaining energy into a single unified beam of light. The divine energy from your shield merges with the red eye energy from Craw's attack, and it begins to build up more and more power. Okay. I'm going to say, may our powers combined be greater than the forces of hell, and obliterate Lucifer once and for all. Don't say that. Declare that. Yeah. So let's see how it goes. Will this be enough to take down Lucifer? Because this seems like it's literally us putting our all into it. Yeah. With every last ounce of your energy, you direct the beam of light into Lucifer, who begins to let out a horrifying, blood-curdling scream at the top of his lungs. I will feed on your souls to the deep. I will feed your souls to demons and have you executed for your treachery. To which then, I'm going to keep pushing as hard as I can. You know that this is the last stand for the sake of humanity. If you and Craw fail, then the world will end in a hellish apocalypse. The beam of light is shining so brightly that it lights up the entire hallway, and you begin to feel your energy draining. Let's see. This is for the sake of the world! You hear Craw shout as the beam begins to intensify even more. Okay, so we're just keep pushing. It's like Dragon Ball. You're just in a big beam struggle. You gotta keep pushing the beam even further. I'm going to say to Craw, I'm not the only one who can tap into their divine nature. I know that you're not big into the religious stuff. But everyone has a unique divine nature with its own divine attributes. Use your faith in your own divine nature to strengthen your red eye blast even further. We must push past all of our limits if we want to save the world. Okay, so let's see if I can convince Craw to tap into his divine nature as well in order to push his Cyclops beams even further. You and Craw both push past your physical limitations, almost to the point of death, and continue to hold up the beam of light while you continue to distract Lucifer with taunts. Your reign of terror is over, you shout at him. Okay, so let's see. We push past our physical limitations almost to the point of death. So it's like we're barely holding on to life, continuing to try to push this beam of energy. Goodness. Yeah. I'm going to say to Craw, we have to give this everything we have. And I mean everything. Don't just tap into your divine nature. Utilize your very life force. I will do the same. By putting our literal all into this attack, we can guarantee victory. So, I mean, if we're, like, on the edge of death anyways, like, push beyond. Like, we're already passing, like, our, like, mortal physical limits. Now we need to pass, like, the limits of, like, life itself and just straight up, like, die. Just push, like, our life energy in a blast. Do you have any last words, Lucifer? You mock at him. I thought you would have learned your lesson the first time we fought. And with those last courageous words, you push your beam of light upward and send it directly into the face of Lucifer. So, I got so confused because it didn't say if Lucifer said that part or not. But who knows? Maybe everybody just said their last words. Like at that part. Okay. I'm just gonna hit enter because I straight up was like, we're gonna put our life force into the blast, so we might just be dead. And it also just said, and with those last courageous words, we do it. An explosion of red and yellow occurs, and you are blown back into a wall by the sheer magnitude of the explosion. Goodness. Okay, so a massive explosion happened, which is understandable. That was a lot of hype. That was like a lot of like beam struggle, like build up, where it's like, where can we even find like more energy? You strike the wall with a thud and slowly slide down to the ground and begin coughing up a substantial amount of blood. Before you lose complete consciousness, you see the result of your victory, and it's one to be proud of. Okay. So I didn't quite die, it doesn't seem. I mean, I did cough up a substantial amount of blood, and I'm losing consciousness. Like, I might die? I don't know. This seems like the kind of thing where my character could pass out and, like, wake up in the infirmary later or something like that. The entire city of Los Angeles is completely destroyed, and the mushroom cloud created by the explosion stretches almost into outer space. We saved humanity is the last thought you have before you close your eyes and drift into a deep sleep. Goodness. So this whole battle took place in a base in LA against Lucifer the Dragon. Goodness, the magnitude of the explosion is actually really crazy because not only did it engulf all of Los Angeles, but it also stretched into outer space. That's a huge blast. Power scaling. So I'm just going to hit enter. I'm just going to keep seeing where it goes. Because I can't tell if I'm supposed to be, like, knocked out now. Or, oh, well, here we go. You wake up and find yourself in a very comfortable bed. You feel very rested and well taken care of. You look around and take in your surroundings. You're in a very nice bedroom. You wonder if you were in the afterlife, or if someone recovered your body from the site of the explosion. Afterlife, I think, is one word. You ponder whether you are in the afterlife, or if someone managed to recover your lifeless body and took you to a medical lab. You sit up in your bed and look around the room. You notice that everything is fairly modern and up to date. Let's see. I'm gonna look around for Craw. Yeah. If I survived the explosion, I'm curious if Craw also survived the explosion. We tried to put like every last ounce of our life force energy into the blast. I honestly thought I was gonna die. But it seems like we haven't. You see a large house with 2 floors. The front door is made out of wood, and you can see the grate. Aren't I inside of a room? How do I see a large house? Like, did I exit that, like, my room? And now I see a house? Well, let me retry that, because it seems really weird. Let's see. You look around and see that all the furniture in your room is wooden. Okay, so that's not Craw. I'm going to call out Craw. Craw, are you here? Did you survive? I mean, one thing that's kind of concerning, if I was able to survive that, and Craw was able to survive that, maybe Lucifer survived that. Because the first time we killed Lucifer, it seemed like we didn't actually kill Lucifer. You call out for Craw, wondering if he survived the explosion. I'm in the next room, you hear him call back. You get out of bed and into the next room to see Craw sitting at a table. What happened, you asked? We won. I'm going to say to Craw, that's wonderful news. Who brought us here? To this place? Yeah, like the whole city got wiped out. So I'm not sure who could have like taken us here after like the massive explosion. I don't know, Craw says. This is an extremely nice house. Whoever brought us here must have spent a fortune on it. That's great and all, but what I want to know is, where is this place? Oh, sorry. Craw said the other line, I guess. I don't know. This is an extremely nice house. Whoever brought us here must have spent a fortune on it. To which then I say, that's great and all, but what I want to know is, where is this place? Let's see. I'm going to look around for any mail. You want to find an envelope with an address on it, as that would likely tell you where you are currently located, and potentially who brought you here. You walk over to the wooden dressers and begin opening up drawers. You sort through the contents of each drawer and find all sorts of different clothing items. Okay, so I'm looking through drawers, but I don't actually see any mail. I'm going to say that to Craw. I'm going to say, I don't see any mail or envelopes that would show us our current address. All these drawers are just full of clothes. Do you see any electronic devices around? Like a computer? We could use a device with a built-in GPS to figure out where we are. bum, 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 bum. The AI doesn't know what to say. Okay, I'll hit retry. Bow, bow. While it's retrying, I'll look at my phone because I missed a couple calls and I don't know who was calling me. Well, one of them was my mom. One of them was like an unknown call. Let's see. I looked through the drawers and saw a cell phone, Craw says. Great, you say as you and Craw get up from the table and walk over to the dressers. Did I, like, go from the drawers back to Craw and talk to him? And then we get up and we go, like, back to the dressers? Which one is it, you ask? The black one, Craw responds. Let me edit it and have it say, great, you say, as Craw gets up from the table and walks over to the dressers. That way, I'm still at the dressers, Craw gets up to, like, join me, kind of thing. Okay? So I'm going to open the black drawer and look for the cell phone. I guess I should thank Craw and then open the black drawer and look for the cell phone. Do 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 do. You thank Craw for the information and then search through the black dressers. You find a leather cell phone case and open it up to see an older model black cell phone. Do you think it still works? Craw asks. Let's find out. Okay, let's see. I'm going to check to see if the cell phone has an internet capability. If the cell phone has an internet capability, then we might be able to go on like Google Maps or something and then figure out like where we're located. You open up the cell phone to see if you can find any contacts or anything that could help you, but all you find is a half-charged battery and no contacts. You flip the phone open and see if you can still make calls. Well, that's not what I'm checking for at all. I don't really care what contacts are on the phone. You open up the cell phone and see that it is on and has 10% battery life remaining. You press the internet icon and wait for it to connect. It's working, Craw says. I know, but does it have internet, you ask? Let's see. Well, I mean, it's interesting to say it's working and then say, I know, but does it have internet? You hit the internet icon. You know, like the question is more about whether or not it'll connect. Clearly, the phone has the ability to, like, use internet. So let's see. I'm going to wait and see if the cell phone can finish connecting to the internet. Yeah, because if the cell phone can connect to the internet, then we can like check like Google Earth or Google Maps and figure out where we're located. The connecting icon spins for about a minute and then the screen goes black. I'm going to say, dang, the phone lost charge before I could go on Google Earth and find our current location. Have you seen anyone else in this building? Yeah, have you seen anyone else in this building yet? No, I was waiting for you to wake up before I started exploring. Let's go look through this house together then. Do you think that's a good idea? What if something dangerous is in here? Craw asked a reasonable question. I think for a moment, and then say, if something dangerous is in this house, then it would seem weird. Well, I don't know. Something could be dangerous in a house where you're welcome, kind of thing. Maybe there's... I guess I know what I'll say. I'm going to think for a moment and then ask, do you see an intercom system anywhere in this room? If so, then we could call out over the intercom to see if anyone else is here. This is like a fancy house after all, so it might just have an intercom system already. I didn't see one in this room, but I know there had to be one somewhere. They always put intercoms on the walls so you can communicate with people in other rooms. Good point. Let's go search the rest of the house and look for an intercom system. Okay? So Craw and I head back to your room to see if there is an intercom system in your room. You and Craw open the door to your room, and you are surprised to find a girl your age standing there. Who are you? Craw asks. My name is Ada, she answers. I'm looking for my brother. He's missing, and I was told he might be here. I'm going to ask Ada. Well, I guess first I'm going to say, it is nice to meet you, Ada. Where exactly is here? The Black House, Ada says. Never heard of it, you reply. It's invisible to adults. They always walk right past it without noticing it. That sounds like the dumbest idea for a club ever. I'm gonna get rid of that part at the end. Sounds weird. I'm going to say to Ada, we're adults. Craw and I served in the military, which you can't do unless you're at least 18. You look about our age. How old are you, Ada? If you don't mind me asking. I'm 16. No, wait. I just had my 16th birthday. Happy birthday, Craw and you say simultaneously. How long has your brother been missing? You ask. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. Because right now I think we're missing. So I'm going to say to Ada, based on what you said, it sounds like the Black House is a no man's land that only kids can see. which doesn't make sense considering that Craw and I are here. Exactly. I suspect there's some kind of rational explanation for this. Where I come from, kids go missing is usually because they don't want to be found. But that doesn't make sense. My brother wouldn't just disappear like this. Okay. Exactly, replies Ada. And then I'm going to say that second line. And then I'm going to have Ada say the last line. That makes the most sense. Okay. I'm going to say to Ada, I'm not sure if Craw and I would be much help when it comes to finding your brother. Neither of us know our way around this place. Yeah, neither of us know our way around this place. And you are the first person we've seen all day. That's okay. That's okay. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just really need to find my brother soon. I'm going to ask Ada. Why are you in a hurry to find your brother? Yeah, because, I mean, is he in danger if he's just at a house that adults don't see? Like, is there something dangerous in the house? I'm not in a hurry. That was just the only question you forgot to ask, she replies. You're about to ask another question, but Ada stops you. I'm not in a hurry. What? That doesn't make sense. You just said you really need to find him soon. I'm going to hit retry on that one. I want to make sure he's okay. You know, that makes sense. That honestly is just a good answer. We haven't met, Ada, but it seems to me that your brother would be very lucky to have a caring sister like you. My sister was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm sure your brother feels the same way. Oh, that's sweet. It's very sweet. Like, all of that's sweet. Ooh. Let's see. I feel like that's more like you compliment. Okay. I'm going to say, well, I guess I should ask Craw. Should we help Ada find her brother? Or should we focus on learning more about the Black House? Ada seems nice, and this house seems to have weird magic properties. I'm not sure, says Craw. I don't think we should touch anything unless we know what it does. For all we know, this house could be filled with traps. Alright then, we'll help Ada find her brother, and then decide what to do after that. Okay? You decide. And then for the part above, have it say, crawl continues. Okay. So I'm going to ask Ada, have you seen an intercom system around here? Also, how are we doing on time? We still have almost like a full hour left. No, I haven't, says Ada. Me neither. There might be one somewhere in the house, you continue. The intercom is that way, says Ada, pointing to the right. I'm going to get rid of the line that they put in after that they didn't really attribute to anyone. I'm going to look to the right to see if there is an intercom there. You walk to the right side of the living room and see an intercom grill on the wall. It looks like it's working, you say. There are buttons with names on them, but no buttons to speak into the system. Interesting. I'm going to read the names written on the intercom buttons. Excuse me. Let's see. Mason, Mark, Nate, Ada, and Griffin, you say. Ada frowns when she hears her brother's name. I don't know why he would have an intercom here. I've never even met him. What? That doesn't make sense for Ada to say. Retry that. You read the names on the intercom buttons and see a row of 5 with GF under them. To the right of these buttons is a larger button marked Manager. It seems there's an intercom system here, but it looks like it's not working. A moment ago they said it was working. Retry that. You read the names written on the intercom buttons. Stairs, kitchen, garage, guest room, master bedroom, general rooms, den, patio. Okay, so the names weren't people's names, but the names of like locations in the house. I'm going to press all of the intercom buttons. Just see what happens. Dun, 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 dun. AI doesn't know what to say. Maybe no one's pressed all the intercom buttons before. Normally you wouldn't. You press every intercom button and listen for a response, but there's only silence. Nothing happened, you say. We should keep looking. Maybe he's here after all, Ada suggests hopefully. All right then, let's search the house some more, you say. I'm going to say, let's go outside and see if Ada's brother is outside of the house, wandering around. So that's possible. We've kind of just been in an empty house for a while. Let's get a change of setting, see if anything interesting happens. I'll go outside and look around, you say. Okay, says Ada. I'm going to stay here in case he comes back while you look for him. You walk outside of the front door and look around, but there's no sign of anyone. Okay? I'm going to look at the surrounding area to try and get an idea of where you are. You're at the end of a gravel road that extends out in two directions, right and left. The right side seems to extend out to a highway, while the left side seems to extend out into a forest. I'm going to look for any landmarks or points of interest. Yeah. Because I still have no real way of determining where we are. We're somewhere where forests are a thing, and somewhere where highways are a thing. You look around and try to see if there are any other houses or buildings nearby. After searching carefully, you spot a very small clearing in the forest with what looks like a large wooden cabin. The cabin has several smaller buildings extending off to the side. It looks relatively old and abandoned. Interesting. It seems like since we're by the highway, that we're not too far away from civilization, but it does seem like we're still kind of far from civilization. I'm going to look around to see if there are any cars nearby. You know, if Ada's out here at the Black House, as well as her brother, how would they have gotten here? From the forest? You know, if no one's like driving here. The gravel road you're on the gravel road you're on the end of extends out to your right and left. It looks like it goes to a highway from the right or into the forest from the left. You don't see any other roads that might connect to the highway. No. You're just kind of repeating yourself there. We already know that. Are there any cars? When I look off to the right, I see an old two-lane road that is... Wait, hold up. They're like adding new stuff to it. I don't need a whole bunch of new stuff. I just want to know if there are cars around. Okay. You look around and see several cars parked on the street. There are two police cars, one in front of your house and one across the street. There is a red sports car parked directly behind your car, and a white van parked on the opposite side of the road. Well, hold on, I shouldn't have a car here. That one was a little confusing. It was like relaying out the map. I just want to know if there are cars in front of the Black House. You see many different cars of various models, makes, and years in the parking lot. While not the only one there, it certainly seems like the most popular. I don't get what that second line means, but sure. There's a parking lot full of cars, which makes me think there are likely more people here. You wonder why there are so many cars here. If adults can't see the Black House, then why would there even be a parking lot for the Black House to begin with? Any adults who would have driven here would have come to an empty parking lot. Well, I guess to a parking lot in front of what looked to them to just be a clearing. Clearing in the forest. Yeah, like it seems peculiar for there to be like a bunch of cars in a parking lot just in the forest. Like, are there a bunch of people going camping? Walk back inside and describe what you saw. What I saw didn't look like much of anything to me, you say. I don't see how that could possibly be the Black House. Well, no, what? Hold up, I'm so confused. Retry that. The whole thing seems very confusing, so you make your way over to the cabin in the forest. You approach the cabin carefully, and then peer inside one of the windows. I'm going to say, Ada's brother, are you inside this cabin? Ada's looking for you. You hear a small voice coming from deep in the cabin. It sounds like it's coming from the basement. Help me, the voice says. Ada's brother is in here, you shout. You found him. Well, hold on. There's no way for me to know if Ada's brother is like inside of the cabin or whatever. I'm going to race back to the Black House and tell Craw and Ada about what you heard at the cabin. We have to do something, you say. We can't just leave him there. Who is it? Craw asked. Ada's brother? And I'll put a question mark there, because I actually don't know. Ada's brother, you say? To which then Craw says, Ada, I'm sorry to hear that he's missing. Craw says, why would he say that now? I'm going to get rid of that Craw line. Seems kind of random. I'm going to go like Ada's brother and then say, I'm not entirely sure if the voice was coming from Ada's brother or not, but it might have been. Regardless, they sounded like they needed help. We should go rescue whoever is in the cabin. You're right, Craw agrees. Let's go save whoever's in the cabin. Do you know where it is? Ada asks. You nod and lead Craw and Ada over to a large clearing. It's over there, you say, as you point to the wood cabin. I'm going to say, that's where I heard the voice call for help. Oh no, that's not good, Craw says. I thought we were past all these ghost stories. Somebody's just playing a joke on you. Let's go home. I'm going to say to Craw, don't chicken out now, my dude. We literally saved the world from Lucifer. We can handle a haunted cabin, or whatever this is. What matters now is that someone needs our help. Oh, I didn't say chicken out. I said don't chicken now, my dude. Okay, Craw says. We'll go break into that cabin and see what's going on. You and Craw creep around the cabin until you can look through the window. From this side, you can't hear the voice anymore. Do you see anything? You whisper to Craw. No, Craw says. I don't see anyone in the cabin. I think whoever was in here left. Let's see. I'm going to break the window and then call inside. Well, I'm going to break the window and then yell. Is anyone in here? If it's like an abandoned cabin out in the woods, I'm not too worried about, like, you know, breaking windows and making noise. Who's going to be bothered? You smash the window and yell into the cabin. Is anyone in here? You ask again. The cabin is silent for a moment, but then you hear footsteps shuffling around on the floor. Who's there? You hear a voice ask. Let's see. I'm going to say, we heard someone calling for help. Is everyone okay in there? Oh, wow. I heard a voice too, Ada says. We should call the police. Oh, sorry. We should call the police, Craw says. I'm going to say, instead of what it railroaded me into saying, it would be cool to call the police if we had a phone. The phone we found in the Black House lost charge really quickly. And then I'm going to ask Ada, do you happen to have a phone? Okay, I'm gonna hit retry on that. Yeah, but it's dead, Ada says. We can go back to my house and use the phone there. It's probably too late now, Craw says. The cops would have already been here if they were going to show up. I disagree, you say. I'm going to say, this place is really weird. This cabin is abandoned. Adults supposedly can't see the Black House. And yet, the parking lot is full of cars. I'm going to call into the house. Show yourself, whoever is inside of that house. Well, inside of this cabin. I guess I should say, I call into the cabin. You didn't answer me when I asked if everyone in there was okay. Be careful, Ada says. Why would I be careful, you say? Some old guy in a cabin didn't do anything wrong. You reach forward and open the door. No one is there, but there's a large blood stain leading out of the cabin. I'm going to get rid of that middle part, because I don't know why I would say that. I'm going to say, a large blood stain is never really a good sign. I'm going to ask Craw. Is this blood fresh? It's hard to tell, Craw says. The owner of the blood might have died. I don't want to stay here alone. Can I stay with you? Oh, sorry. The owner of the blood might have died. I don't want to stay here alone. Can I stay with you? It asks. You hear a deep voice coming from inside the cabin. Of course you can stay with us. I'm going to call into the cabin. Come out, murderer. Well, I guess come out, murderers. You all are busted. Okay, so let's see who's gonna come out. Yeah, everything took like a weird twist when we woke up in the Black House, and it's become a very like slow-moving mystery after being like a actiony, brawly, like supernatural fight at the start. You walk into the cabin. Well, why would we walk in? You walk into the cabin, followed by followed by Cray and Ada, or Craw and Ada. The two names are so similar, and they're both like 3 letters. I keep trying to put them together. You walk into the cabin, followed by Craw and Ada. The owner of the cabin is lying dead on the floor. He's been stabbed multiple times in the chest. What happened here, you ask? I don't know, Craw says, turning to look at you. So I'm not going to ask what happened here. I'm going to say, I'm not going to ask again. Killers, show yourselves. Now. They already showed themselves, the voice says. You hear a low growl coming from your right. You turn to face it, and a near invisible wolf stands there. What? Crust stutters. I'm going to say, Ada, get behind us. And then I'm going to quickly try to erect a divine shield. Excuse me. To protect you, Craw, and Ada. Okay. So a nearly invisible wolf creature is there. Yeah, I don't know why it became like a weird, like, horror mystery thing. The shield goes up just in time. A large amount of wolves try to enter the shield, but you maintain your composure and keep them out. The voice laughs as the wolves rip apart. Whoa, no, what? The voice laughs as the wolves rip apart Cry and Ada. You feel a slight pain on your shoulder. Oh, crap. Okay. I'm going to cry out. Craw! Ada! You were upset that your shield wasn't able to protect Craw and Ada. You imagine that you are likely still low on energy after your battle against Lucifer. You try to hold back tears as you try to race out of the cabin and back into the Black House. You feel a painful sensation on your shoulder. You aren't sure if the wolves bit you there, but you have no time to look back to check. All you can do is run and hope that you can get inside and keep the wolves out. Okay, so this took a very different turn. I did not expect it to go in this direction at all. You're able to get inside the door right before the wolves enter the house. You race up the stairs and into the master bedroom. You can hear the howling of the wolves as they pick up your scent. It won't be long before they reach you. Okay. So it seems like I'm gonna have to... Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm going to look for a window. You think if you can climb out of the window and down the side of the house, that you could race to the parking lot and hotwire one of the cars to escape. Yeah, to escape to the highway. You know what? All these little things are starting to pay off. Like having observed all this different stuff. Come on. Can I find a window in the master bedroom? Hey, I didn't know what to say. Retry. Come on. The wolves enter from the bedroom door. You run to the window to exit, but it's too late. A dozen wolves have surrounded you. They all lunge for you. Ooh, they all lunge for your throat and rip you apart. Goodness. Yo, you thought this was gonna be a survival horror, but then everybody died. And we still have fucking 30 minutes. Why is this a fucking 2-hour video? I gotta fill it 30 minutes. I'm dead now. Okay. So I got ripped apart by not quite invisible, but nearly invisible talking wolves that also killed Craw and Ada. The fuck was that? You have died by the hands of the wolves. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, totally dead. What happens next? Do 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 do. AI doesn't know what to say. Just say something else. Just continue the story. I got ripped apart. So what am I gonna do? I'm dead. Okay. This is one of the situations where I feel like if I became a ghost or something, I don't even know what I would do. I'm going to try to continue existing as a ghost. You walk outside and try to communicate with the wolves, hoping that you can scare them off by using your ghost powers. You try to touch one of the wolves, but your hand goes right through it. You try to lunge at one of the wolves, but you just go right through it. Okay, so I'm just straight up a ghost. Cool. Um, I'm gonna look around to see if I can find the ghost of Craw. You see hundreds of ghostly wolves racing through the forest. They all have bright red eyes and seem to be looking for something. At first, you think they are looking for you, but after a few minutes, you can safely conclude that they're running past you and deeper into the woods. I'm gonna say, what a strange place. I never really unearthed the mysteries of the Black House. I never learned who Ada's brother was. I never got to see what the world was like after we defeated Lucifer. There are so many unanswered questions. Well, you could try to find out, a voice says to you. You look around the forest, but you're all alone out here. Hello, you say? Who's there? I'm talking to you, silly, the voice says. I'm going to say, I hear your voice. I can't see you. Who are you? Do 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 do. Bow 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 bow. You know who I am, the voice says. Excuse me, we've been through this before. I'm so sorry, you say. Please, can we try again? The voice sighs. Yes, she says. What do you look like? Well, hold up. When it says, yes, she says, it specifically pointed out that it's a female voice. So I'm going to ask, Ada? Am I hearing the ghost of Ada? The only female character that's been in the whole story? Yes, I'm Ada, the voice says. Look, you want to try this again, or what? Wait. What do you mean, try this again? I'm going to ask Ada. What do you mean, try this again? Do you mean like a do-over? Where we rewind time and get to try what we did again without dying? Yeah, is this like a video game? Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You've got the right idea, Ada says. Hold on a second. What? I'm gonna ask Ada. Are we inside of some kind of video game? Yeah, like why is it that we can like try again? As if there are like checkpoints and shit. Yes, Ada says. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. I'm going to explain to Ada. Craw and I were military soldiers. Well, I guess you don't have to say military soldiers. We're in the military and used our mysterious superpowers to defeat Lucifer and save the world from a memetic monster apocalypse. We used every last ounce of our very being, including our life force, in order to defeat Lucifer. Next thing we knew, we woke up in this video game world, but we didn't know we were in a video game. And then I'm going to ask Ada, how did Craw and I end up in a video game after we defeated Lucifer and saved the world? What genre is this story? Is it like a superhero action thing? Is it like a horror survival mystery? Is it a video game isekai? What's going on? You don't remember? Ada asked. No, you say. But if you're a memory of Ada that was imprinted in my brain, then you should know what happened and can tell me. I only know bits and pieces, Ada says. So I'm not gonna say what it railroaded me to say, so I'm just gonna keep the part where Ada said, you don't remember? And I'm going to, shake my head and say, no, I don't remember. And then I'm going to ask Ada, could you explain to me how Craw and I ended up inside of this video game? Ada, A-D, AI Dungeon. Do you want to learn how to play this video game or not? Ada asks. And then I'm going to say to Ada, before I learn how to play, I'd like to know how I got inside of this game in the first place. Do, 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 do. Fine, fine, Ada says. You and Craw battled Lucifer and defeated him after a long and grueling battle. The two of you were on the brink of death. You could have easily died, but you held on, determined to win the fight. Ada recaps. And then I'm going to say, that's right. You affirm. And then I'm going to, you ask, so what happened after Craw and I defeated Lucifer? That led to us entering this video game. Let me double check. Make sure I'm still recording. Okay. Booyah. And I have to hit enter because I said that inside of the thing. I edited the inside of the thing instead of doing it as another action. You and Prob both collapsed on the floor after killing Lucifer, Ada says. Your bodies glowed a bright gold and then transported into this world. Under normal circumstances, people can't enter this world unless they win the lottery. But you and Prob, you two are special cases. I'm going to say to Ada, well, I guess ask Ada. Win the lottery? So you're saying that this video game is a virtual world that is accessible to lottery winners? Well, it's a little more complicated than that, but in a sense, yes. The lottery is involved, Ada explains. I'm gonna get rid of that extra bit that it said. Okay? So I'm going to ask Ada. So, why was this game created in the first place? So I'm trying to better understand the situation that we're in. So it seems like we entered a virtual world. To entertain, of course, don't you see? It's a game that was designed to entertain people like you. You and Craw have a very interesting story that deserves to be told, and this world is just one way of immortalizing your story, Ada says. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense for the world to be made to entertain. And it's used to immortalize stories, to allow for stories to live on. Okay. So I'm going to say, I see. So this world exists specifically to immortalize stories that deserve to be told. Like the stories of those who have once-in-a-lifetime experiences, like winning the lottery. And then you ask Ada, am I right? That's actually like a kind of interesting concept, to be honest. Yes, you are, Ada confirms. Okay. So I feel like I understand why I'm in the game and like why the game exists. I don't really understand how. So I'm going to ask Ada. So how exactly Do people normally enter this game world? Craw and I obviously entered after death. Is that the intended way to enter this game? Do 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 do. You and Cross certainly aren't the first to enter this world after death. There have been others who have done it before. There are several ways to get here, Ada says. Well, it says Ada list, but they didn't actually have her list anything. Let's see, I'm going to ask Ada, what is this game called? Yeah, so I don't even know, like, what this game is. Is it going to be called The Immortal Story, or To Be Continued, or Life Goes On? The game doesn't have a name, Ada says, but if it did, I suppose the name Eternal Fantasy would be suitable. Interesting. And then it had me ask, what do you know about the people who entered this world before me? And then she said, I know quite a bit, actually. Well, I do think that could be an interesting direction for, like this. I have, like, other questions. This is, like, a weird twist. This is, like, a really, like, different twist. I kind of fuck with it, not gonna lie. How much time do I have? So I got, like, 9 minutes left. Okay? So I'm inside of a game world called Eternal Fantasy that you can enter after you die, and it's a virtual world that exists to immortalize the stories of people who experience like once in a lifetime things. Essentially, people whose stories like deserve to be told, kind of thing. I guess a question I would have is, how long has this game existed? Yeah. This game has been in development for about 5 years now, Ada says. 5 years? Why has nobody heard about this before? This is huge news. Why hasn't this been on the news, you ask? I probably wouldn't ask that. This sounds like an afterlife that somebody made, like a virtual afterlife. I don't feel like that would be something that necessarily would be all over the news. In development for 5 years. I'm going to say to Ada, when I was alive, I noticed that the military was working on an energy project that utilized glowing, pulsating energy crystals. In order to power a game like this that essentially acts as a virtual afterlife, I imagine you would need a serious source of power. Are those crystals that I saw what are used to power this game? Let's see. So I'm going to end that first quote, and then I'm going to use the second thing I said as like specifically like a you ask Ada, and then make it like a question all on its own. I probably do need to break up the things that I say into multiple quotes more often. Yes, they are. Those crystals can be harnessed to power entire cities, Ada answers. A single crystal would power an entire city? You say surprised. Interesting. So we were able to actually connect it to like an earlier thing in the story. Like the more I go back into like this, the more I'm like, oh, like how far does everything connect to each other? Let's see. This is actually really interesting. Super powerful crystals that can power entire cities are being used to power a virtual world that acts as like an afterlife for those who have had once in a lifetime experiences. And it was made as like a game, like to entertain. This is a lot to take in, actually. I guess I do have a question. I'm going to ask Ada, are you a real person? Or are you a non-player character inside of the game? That seems like a good question. I would be closer to the developer of this game rather than a character inside of it. The NPCs are limited in their intelligence and can't communicate anything beyond what the script tells them to. Ada answers. Huh. Ada's the developer of the game? What? Yeah, so I kind of suspected something like that. I kind of thought Ada was going to say that she was the game. Like, she's not an NPC, she's like a personification. But no, she's the developer. So I'm surprised to hear that Ada is the developer of the game. You ask Ada, are you actually a 16-year-old girl? If so, that's really impressive, as you would have started working on this game when you were 11 years old. Yeah, this is gonna get wild. Thank you, Ada says, not really answering the question. Okay. Fascinating. She dodged the questions. I don't actually know how old Ada is. I'm going to ask Ada, what is the name of the power crystals that you're using to power this game world? Yeah, I am curious how she would have gotten gotten her hands on those. They're called fantasy crystals, and the entire reason for developing this game was to make money off of them, Ada says. What? I'm going to say to Ada, earlier you said that the game was to immortalize stories and to entertain. Now you're saying that the game exists to make you money off of the fantasy crystals. And then I'm going to ask Ada, how does this game make you money? Yeah, that actually does seem like a good question. This game makes me money by taking the fantasy crystals, turning them into smaller size ones, and then selling them through our website, Ada explains. And then it says, so your entire reason for existing is to collect fantasy crystals for no reason other than to sell them, you ask? And then she said, that's correct. So I'm going to get rid of the part where it railroaded me. And I'm essentially going to say to Ada, that kind of reminds me of the Matrix. In the Matrix, there's a virtual world. Its basis is essentially to distract. Oh, well, I ran out of time. What do you guys think? This ended up being like a really wild ride. I have no idea how long the story is. But this story jumps from, like I said, being like a super powered action adventure story to like a mystery to a survival horror story to like a video game isekai story. So I definitely had a fun time. Shout out to King of Craxels once again for sponsoring this video. He paid $14 to make this video a reality. If you guys have any story ideas, definitely make sure to tell me about them on Discord. If I agree to make your idea into a video, then I'll charge you $7 per hour length of the video. So $7 for a 1 hour video, $14 for a 2 hour video, $21 for a 3 hour video, so on and so forth. So feel free to hit me up on Discord. Also, if you guys just want to donate to help support the channel, feel free to hit up my Cash App link in the description box below. Yo, thank you guys once again for watching. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace, guys. Chicken bow.